Hi, I'm Alan SoCal, and I'm reviewing an item that really shouldn't take long to review because my opinion is the price is excellent and the quality is excellent for the price. This is the gimbal head. It's offered by Simawan. That's the brand name. And they say it's heavy duty. Yes, it is. It accommodates either 1/4 or 3/8 mounting. And very specifically, what you're looking at here is one of my older DSLR bodies and a zoom lens. This setup is sitting on the the manual gimbal, and remember, this is a manual gimbal as opposed to an electronic gimbal, etc. This happens to be a heavy-duty mini tripod. It's one of my favorites. In fact, again, I mounted the gimbal to this tripod on the 3/8. This is the somewhat fluid head ball mount that came with this tripod. Again, one of my favorites because the ball mount is truly a heavy-duty ball mount. Now, it has fluid motion for panning. The panning is extremely smooth on this. And this is just the ball mount, okay? But as you can see, or you should anticipate, it's a ball mount. So when I loosen the ball, that movement, I really have to use some small muscle control to keep it from going where I don't want. I can tighten down, but it's still a rough passage. It's not a smooth passage. Very hard to find a fluid movement as I do down here with the panning. So here comes a heavy-duty manual gimbal for, and the price is the big attraction here, $60. We've got a very fluid panning motion. Okay, and this is a small DSLR, granted, but regardless, this particular gimbal can handle, I believe it's up to 30 pounds, which doesn't surprise me. Very heavy-duty armature here. The resistance for the fluid motion is just right. So you've got the panning, and here we've got the tilt. It's got a good movement to it. So you've got a nice tilt going on, okay? So being able to track a moving object and do it smoothly, most times I didn't have a gimbal. That was a luxury. But when we did have a rack system that allowed for it, we were able to do multiple complex movements. And that's what I felt when I started playing with this particular gimbal. Long story short, I review a lot of items. This, when I took it out of the box and set it up and started playing with it, for $60, I was duly impressed. This appears to be, and I believe it is, a powder-coated finish. As I said, it's a heavy-duty gimbal in my opinion. It may be considered prosumer as opposed to full commercial, but regardless, for the kind of work I'm doing nowadays, the videography and photography, more as a avocation and or hobby, this is absolutely sufficient because I've come across items that confused me because they appeared not to have a feature that they should have had. Be aware that this mounts, this camera that I'm supplying here, this mounts to the gimbal via a Arca-Swiss type plate. And I'm going to loosen the plate right now, and I'd like to show you something. Here's the Arca-Swiss style plate, comes with the gimbal. Very important feature. Very important feature. If you need to line up your camera, well, of course you would if you're doing panoramics, you're going to want to line your lens such that the lens is absolutely in line. The lens is center line to the angle, the vertex of this angle. It has to be center so that you get a true pano scan, panning left to right. If it were off-center, you'd have, as somebody had suggested, parallax issues, and absolutely, you'd be doing one of these. You know, it's like a complex curve as opposed to a true arc. Okay? Well, let me show you the Arca-Swiss plate. Note that it comes to you like this, and when I say like this, let me bring it in. Note that the plate has actually three slots. It's got two for, and notice too, the plate fits such that it slides back and forth. That's the natural movement. If you're using the vertical slot, which is the way I found the set screw right here, it was up here in the vertical, it put this plate off-center to the gimbal. Okay, it was off-center, wasn't center line. So what I did, I went and used one of the two, there we are, I apologize for that. Let me see if I can get the right angle on this. I used one of the two slots here, what I would call the horizontal slots, and sure enough, I was able to adjust my DSLR. It was a bit off to the right, and let me bring it in so you can see a bit better. It was somewhat off to the right, so what I did, I had enough movement with the plate to then center it directly above the center point of the rotation of the gimbal. So I say that again with all respect for anybody that didn't realize that. I've done that myself, so let me just bring it out completely. I have also taken a look at some items and gone, boy, this thing doesn't, and then you fill in the blanks. So I hope that helps you. I think it's an excellent value. I really do. When I scanned Amazon for some comparatives, everything I found was either a bit more or a whole bunch more expensive. This provides me with the pan and tilt function that I would want with my cameras. And of course you can outfit just about anything on this unit, including your cell phone. So it's just an all-around great accessory, and I would just highly recommend it. It'll cause you to want to get to be more creative, and other than doing handheld, which over the years I've sort of felt I did a good job of hand-holding on pan. I think experience helps quite a bit. I'm the guy that will brace against a post when I'm doing videos or especially photography. I basically try to create the human duopod. I brace my right side against a post, I stick my left foot way out and try and stabilize, and I've done that for years. Great product, for me a 5-star item, and yes, I'd recommend it to family and friends.